Oh, okay, I hope. So when we are talking now, approaching the holidays, we have to be very conscious about what we are eating. So health is a topic that is pertain to adult education, like what is important for me to know, how I can visit my doctors, which are the part of my body. All the vocabulary is building into learning a second language. So as I told you before, and I will be telling every week, these are topics that the Department of Education evaluate, and they understand that we should know the vocabulary word. So that's what me is so important that we keep the conversation going. So part of the body, we are going to classify some part of the body. We are going to talk about symptoms, how you can go to the doctor and communicate in a effective way, what do you feel? Because one of the main problems is that we go to the doctor and sometimes we don't know what to say. Maybe you are fluent, with most of you it's easy, but when you don't have the vocabulary word, you are like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to tell them I have a dripping, a postnasal dripping, or something like that. So we are going to talk about nutrition, and one of the main visual today that Fanny was so excited are candies. So absolutely candies is a no-no, and I don't think that's the best way to go. But now that we are getting conscious and we are approaching the holidays, the researchers say that people can gain up to 12 pounds just during the holidays. And it's all this starting you guys today, all this eating that we are just doing. That is good. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a good eating. What are you guys having today? Turkey?
Everybody bringing their own plates. I don't know. We're just bringing the potato
Nice.
salad. Me and my
Yeah.
wife bringing potato salad. Some people bringing chicken and all the stuff. I don't know.
That's it. We call it potluck. We do that.
Yeah.
What are you taking, Fanny? Pork? Okay. Okay, body parts. Body part that most of you are familiar with the body part. This is an activity, like I said. What I can do is we develop a plan. Miguel is already in the church. Fanny is leaving in 30 minutes. Emilio, you are leaving in 30 minutes too?
No, I've been leaving soon. I'm just waiting for my wife.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. So what is your recommendation for today's lesson? I have all these activities in the lesson. I already posted there. Maybe we can
Okay.
select some of them and you guys can work on that and post it back, and then we can review this on next week.
Okay, we can do that.
Because
Well, I can watch the recording too. Whatever. Well, I've been listening anyway. I like the other day we were there. We don't want to be disconnected. We're just gonna
I know,
be
but
in the
you know,
background.
then you guys cannot enjoy. I think I am recording. I can go through the lesson and I can post it.
Okay.
If not tonight, late, and then you can look in the work on the pages. Okay. I will
Okay.
keep going with the lesson. Okay, body part.
Yes, I agree with the idea.
Do you like the idea?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we can do that. I will keep going with the lesson and I will be explaining what to do. Then I post it and you guys can work in activities.
And they're gonna be like a homework, right?
That can be a homework. I have a lot of pages. What I can post it, like which pages, like the body part, and I can select few of them for you to fill it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. In the meantime, let me keep going until you guys do what you have to do. sometimes we feel that we know the body part, but we want to be sure we explain them back and we know the vocabulary word, because when you go to the doctor, it's like, I want to be sure I'm telling the doctor what is the right part that I'm having a problem. It can be my hip, it can be my elbow, or it can be the shoulder. So those are different parts. Wrist, and when we talk about the wrist, and we have the arm. So review this vocabulary word and be sure that you can allocate them in the right place. You see in this picture, you can actually label them. I want you to take a few minutes and look into that and be sure that you recognize all of them. If there is one you don't know, so let's ask questions. So wrist is your muñeca. And your shin, everyone is clear about your shin, quijada, and your chest. So that's a page that we can label them eventually. Depending the condition, so it's the doctor that you have to see. I can briefly have been telling you about an allergy I have been developing. So my first approach was going to my general doctor. I went to her, she gave me antibiotics, that didn't help. So I had to go now to a specialist. So that's when the doctor are really working with only one part of the body. Depending on the doctor, depending on the part of the body that you are having problem, that will be the job or their specialization. Podiatrist. This one is, he deal with your feet. Dermatologists deal with your
the skin.
With your skin, absolutely. Everything related with the skin, you will go to the dermatologist. A gynecologist obstetrician will work with the women on childbirth, pregnancy. Cardiologist, everyone know.
Hermana Fanny, tiene que ponerlo en mute, por favor.
Everything related with the cardiologist, so we know that we have to go to the, it's related with your heart.
Heart.
Yes. The allergies, that's a good one for me. So obviously you are dealing with allergies and asthma. Any other physician that you remember that maybe you visit and we can mention? Oh, I can mention one easily. ENT, that's the one I had to visit. We don't have it here. It's called ear, nose, and throat. So he will deal with that, exactly with the ears, nose, and throat. You cannot complain about anything else. Just if you have a throat problem, in my case, allergies on the top of my head. So he's the one that's going to deal with that. I just like to make it bigger as long as the computer will allow me to do it. Okay, that's better. So when we look at the body part, again, the importance of this vocabulary word is that we have the vocabulary when we have to visit the doctor or when we need any help not just with the doctor, with the nurse, with the practitioner. So we can actually target what is the problem. I have a muscle. My stomach is hurting. So usually we don't know when there is a problem with the kidneys, but we can actually define, some areas of the body. This is the inside. This is the internal part of the body that usually you don't go to the doctor to say, hey, my lungs are hurting, but then you can tell them I'm having problem breathing. So these are the part of the body that also we should know in English. One of the forms that we have to fill it out when we go to the doctor is the medical history. They are asking us, do you have any blood pressure? Do you have asthma? So these are conditions that, and they are related. If you can see here in this activity, what we have is how you can relate the condition with the part of the body. If I have a high blood pressure, I'm having, I will say, some issues with my heart and my arteries. For some reason, they are not working properly. If I have a stroke, or anyone having a stroke, it will have a problem with the brain, because the stroke. Yes. You can see the arthritis here. So arthritis is related with problem with the joints. I have this listening activity, so we can listen to that a few times. The conversation and the question of a person going to the doctor.
What seems to be the problem?
I have a terrible backache.
I see. How long have you had this backache?
I've had it for about a week.
Since last Monday?
Yes, that's right.
Se sacó de dieta la Morena. Y ya dije que tú le debes 17, me dijo.
Mommy can give me 20.
No, you have to give her 25 now because you have another 5 with this one.
So one of the conversations here is, what is the problem of this person? The person is saying that they have a terrible backache. So one of the main questions the doctor will always ask you, how long have you had this problem? So usually you can tell her 3 days, 4 days, a week. This person is saying that it's about 1 week. Since last Monday. So this is a basic conversation that you will encounter when you go to see a doctor. And this is mostly the question they will ask you. What is the problem? Or, how do you feel today? So that's the standard. And then you have to have an answer for that. If you guys say, well, I have been coughing for so long. How long you have been coughing? Well, I have been coughing for 3 weeks. So then, depending on what you are replying or you are answering, they are going to decide what kind of testing they are going to do to check on your condition. This is an activity of practice conversation. One of the goals of this lesson of learning a second language is that the whole I will say the main goal is be sure that the learner is practicing the speaking part. So if you see in this book, you will have a lot of conversation, and they will see like this one is for you to practice. So sometimes when you have some extra time, feel free to practice this conversation even though you are by yourself, because these are basic conversations that speakers of a new language should practice. These are conversations between 2 persons And you will have some samples here. What is the matter? This is something the doctor, I think this is how my doctor always asks me, what's the matter with you today? So I said, well, this is what happened. And then the regular question, how long do you have it? If I use as an example these eyes, what's the matter? Then you can reply, my eyes are red. How long have you had your eyes red? And then you say, well, for 2 days. So you can use different samples of these activities. Sometimes we don't see the useful of this activity, but I just want to share with you. As I told you the first time at class, I was teaching the baseball play for the Houston. That was a great experience. And many of them, you have no idea how many in the major and minor leagues, they don't speak English. So as us, I think that we are in a better position than them. They couldn't communicate, and they have some coaches that they speak Spanish. The director of education, she speaks Spanish. But this boy, he was having a problem with his shoulder, and he was sent back to Houston for a surgery. And here is the baseball guy. Couldn't communicate. No one was helping him. So he was sent to the Houston hospital. And he went through a surgery. So after a few days being there alone, he called the director of education, and she recorded his conversation, and then she shared with me. He was telling her, just because I was able to learn the body parts during the class, that was the lesson that we are showing today, that we practice a lot. He said, I remember the teacher telling us what to say. I was able to communicate. So his experience was that just learning simple sentences like these ones that you can practice when you have time and you have the papers. He was able to tell the doctor, my shoulder is hurting a lot, and the doctor didn't speak Spanish. No one, he said, in the surgery speaks Spanish. So he was able to communicate. So I think this is a successful story of how knowing body parts can help you in such a way. In his case, he went through a whole surgery alone, no family, no English, but he was able to be successful because he remembered what to say in a simple way. And it didn't matter how it sounded, the important was that he was able to communicate. So feel free when you have the time, even when the class finished, to review these papers and practice in such a way that you can have a conversation with the doctor. I like this picture. If you can, hi Sarah, how are you? I want you, if you had the opportunity to look at that picture, I will appreciate that you do. And let's talk a few minutes about what people are doing.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Adita?
I I'm not feel too good today.
Uh-huh.
I have the flu.
Oh my goodness. But that means you are not going to the, oh, you are not part of the dinner? No?
Yeah. Uh, I look in the picture.
Yes, what are they doing there?
Uh, I have the children play maybe baseball.
Yeah, they are playing baseball, I think. And the
Mm,
grown-ups, do you notice?
yes, the the mom and daughter, they are eat the hamburguesa, soda,
Hamburger and soda.
hamburger
Mhm.
soda, and the French fries,
Looks
maybe.
like these are French fries. I love them.
Mm.
What about the guys under the tree? What are they
Oh,
doing?
uh, ¿cómo se dice? He has no,
It's smoking.
he's
Yeah,
smoking.
he's
Mm-hmm.
smoking. Mhm.
He's smoking.
Which of this behavior do you think they are healthy or not healthy?
Oh, for the man eating apple,
Mm-hmm.
he eat apple, water, and pineapple,
I see a lot of fruits in here,
and the
right?
fruit. Yeah,
Banana.
That's healthy or unhealthy?
it's healthy.
Healthy. And of course, everyone know that
It's
smoking
not
is
unhealthy, no smoking.
unhealthy. And what
I
about
not drinking soda, teacher.
you don't?
Drinking
That,
soda, drinking soda is not unhealthy.
the problem with soda is a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
I'm very picky. I have, like, if we go outside for dinner, but I don't buy soda for the house. I don't have sodas. I don't
Me
like
too. Mine don't like
because
to.
when you have it, they will keep drinking. Now for Thanksgiving, I expecting some family, and I bought one Coke, but that's it. After that, it's over. We don't drink it anymore.
Hmm.
So, what else is healthy that you can see in the picture?
And the people, the children exercise. We because
Exercise.
they play the baseball.
Mm-hmm. You
But
see,
she take his son.
and I think that maybe it's taking some, but maybe she's doing some exercise too. I had the
Or
impression that she's doing
maybe.
like, I don't know. That was my first.
Yeah.
She just rests on the rock.
So when we talk about health, we are,
Yes.
and of course, something I do all the time, and it's unhealthy, is eating fast food, right?
It's
So
not healthy.
I think that the main idea is just to keep a balance. Something that most of us, including myself, sometimes we don't know how to do it. We neglect that area. That I don't believe that you should stop everything, but you should be more into this fruit and vegetable that into the health, because that's going eventually to catch you up with the visit and the doctor.
Hmm.
So better that we eat, of course, your health is going to be in better condition.
This is number one. Mrs. J. How
It said match the health habit with the effect. They may be more than one answer. Um, Something else, if you notice that stress, you cannot measure stress. Stress is something that is part of our life lately. Um, we don't buy stress, we don't eat stress, but it's just produced with the way that we live. And living a very stressful life can cause a lot of bad habits, a lot of consequences like blood pressure, um, strokes, and even skin. I had a friend that she was started to have a big rash, and then again she went to the doctor, she went to a second doctor, and they couldn't find what was the problem, and it was caused by stress. Her whole skin and her arm was all bumpy, and she was scratching or red, and it took her like 6 months, and after 6 months she retired. She said, I'm quitting. She was able to do it because not everyone can do that, but her job was causing her so much stress that she was having this reaction. So stress is a very powerful condition. So it's a be very stressed. Which letter is that one? Yeah, it can cause you blood pressure. Absolutely. So let's look into number 2. Drink too much alcohol. What can cause you?
I think it's C.
Drink too much alcohol. Damage your liver. You are
Damage
just
your
right.
liver, yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are right. Number 3.
Stay in the sun so long. G, can get skin cancer.
Stay in the sun too long. Absolutely, you can get the skin cancer. What about number 4?
Eat junk food
Eat junk food every day. Number 8.
Which one? What will happen if you eat junk food every day? You go to McDonald's every day, Burger King every day.
It says I. Gain weight.
You will gain weight, right?
Mhm.
It's I, gain weight.
Okay.
Because all of this food, they have thousands of calories. So like I said, it's not that you eat once every 2 weeks, but you eat them every day, you are going to gain a lot of weight. And on the other hand, what about number 5? Exercise at least 3 times a week. What can be the effect?
It's H. Be fit and healthy.
Absolutely, you can be fit and healthy. What about don't get enough calcium?
And D. Not have strong bones.
Not have a strong bones. And this is something that women who used to have problem with the bones, right? Number 7. Don't sleep enough every night.
And it's B. Not to be well rested.
And if you notice sleeping, the fact that we are including sleep and stress, this is something different than just to eat bad food or not, or do exercise or not. So these are components of being healthy. Some people, they don't, even when they are young, they don't sleep enough, and they are not going to recover. The body is not going to recover. So when you don't sleep enough, you don't feel rest, and of course you cannot function, and you can get sick
B. The
frequently.
letter B.
Exactly, letter B. And of course, number 8.
Get lung cancer.
You can have lung cancer, absolutely. And today they have been even telling us that you don't have to smoke too much. You just smoke a little and you can develop cancer too. So smoking is one of the worst things that anyone can do. And if you stay away from smoking, what can be the
It's
effect?
A. Have healthy.
Long. 8.
A.
8.
Have
healthy
lungs.
Exactly. You keep yourself away from sleeping, you can have healthy lungs. And when you wear sunscreen, that can be the cause, the effect.
That's F. Protect your skin.
Protect your skin. Excellent. So those are things that they are cause effect. I have an activity that I just wanted to show at the beginning of the class, and it's called it's a challenge. It's the human family tree. Now that technology and resources are getting so advanced, now they are using this DNA. Did anyone have done this treatment? No? Just to check the DNA. Okay, I can open this one. When you meet someone the first time, and this is something my husband do all the time, the first thing he will ask, where are you from? I'm like, don't ask that. People don't like that. So I think that especially between Latins, we always want to know, where are you from?
Están allá. Dios te bendiga, hermana. Buenas noches.
So we always want to know from where is someone. So now with this kind of test, they can look back from where are your family, the DNA. So the family history go back maybe different generations. I am not sure if I really wanted to do it, but that would be interesting to know from where were my ancestors, right? So I want to play the video for a little. Let me go back and listen. Don't forget, we have been practicing listening to the activities. That's why I like to play these videos, even though they are not that big.
It is basically a quest to understand, where we all came from. That's one of those key human questions that everybody is kind of searching for the answer to. And, who am I? Who are my ancestors? And we're using the tools of science to get the answers to that.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's great.
Because when I was born, my mother told me I had some blonde hair on my back. I don't know where it came from. It's not there now.
Now, hundreds of New Yorkers are lining up to get these questions answered too, and learn about their own ancient pasts.
It's who I am. The more I know about my past, the more I can understand myself.
Well, I think we're looking for something unexpected, because we sort of know where we're from, but, we don't really know where we're from.
He's very excited about it, and he thinks that he's gonna change his life.
Genealogy allows most of us to trace our ancestors back about 4 or 5 generations, to a great-great-grandparent, perhaps.
And probably we can go as far as probably 100 years.
This is your deep, deep ancestry, so we're not necessarily looking at your grandparents.
If we're lucky, we know where these ancestors lived.
Well, I certainly don't know much about my background.
I know that, I'm from Madras, the southern part of India. My parents lived there, and my grandparents lived there. So beyond them, I have no clue at all.
My mom's from South Korea, and on my father's side, I am German, Irish, English, and I think a little bit of Native American, but that part I'm not sure.
So what do you know about your ancestry?
New York, that's about it.
These DNA tests tell a deeper story. Rather than taking us back just a handful of generations, they take us back many thousands.
I'm waiting for her now. She can't talk now, so I can abuse her.
The cheek swab is basically a way of getting at the DNA history book that we're carrying inside of ourselves. All of that information has to be copied in every generation to pass on to kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. So we're carrying this continuous kind of genetic historic document that goes back through the generations since, tens, hundreds, thousands of years ago.
No matter where we're from, how different we appear, if we look back through the generations at the roots of the human family tree, we find we are all related. Our ancient connections may not be obvious to this group. Our ancestors adapted to different climates, and as a result, humans are now among the most physically varied-looking species on the planet. But looks can be deceiving.
We're basically identical at the genetic level. I mean, if you look at the average person's DNA sequence and compare the same region to another person they're unrelated to, they're 99.9% identical.
This is an article from the National Geographic, and that was actually in New York. What they have been doing during this activity.
It is basically a question.
It's a group of people.
Us to understand, where we all came from.
Show whether that's a nice picture. They are going through all kind of testing. That's called DNA testing. So what they are trying to discover? What they are trying to find out?
The family tree.
The family tree, right? What do you mean when you say family tree?
What is the parents, the grandparents, and the grandparents come from? What is the culture? What is the language? Because and the people growing in New York, on the United States, they don't know. For a long time, for many generations, 2-3 generations, they don't know exactly, but only the story about the parents they know because of colors or what is look like, Spanish or Indian, whatever.
No, you are doing fantastic, Sarah. Any other information, Fanny, that you want to add?
I always open the door for my friends. I didn't listen all the history.
Okay.
But I can read something that I can see. Let's say when we meet someone.
That's one of those key human questions that everybody is kind of searching for.
There is one very common question. We always ask, "Where are you from?" But you don't know the answer. Your family history goes back a very long time, and one project wants to help you find out. The Geographic project is helping people to discover where they come from by having human migration partner from people all over the world.
Yeah. So this is a project that they develop, and they shows the same situation can be seen in any big city. And as Sarah was saying perfectly, these people, they wanted to know from where are the generation, because your parents, maybe you remember your grandparents, but besides that, your great grandparents, they want to find out from where are the parents. Not because that will matter, but some people, they want to know. And one of the things that caught my attention was that a lady was saying, I remember my grandparents, but I don't know anything else. I know they live in India, but something also that they discover, this test that they scratch the cheek, this body part inside, and then they can take some cells and they find out, all those generations. They can tell you, maybe you have a family coming from England, or maybe they're coming from Europe, and they can tell you from where. But something it caught my attention. It said it's not just 1 or 2 generations, but they can be thousands of generations. That means that maybe one of your ancestors, like 1,000 years ago, so it was from Slovakia or maybe from Russia. So this information, what I'm trying to do is taking a topic that is actual and that's important, and we are listening to what they are saying. So I like when we put the video and then we put the script.
Estoy dorming. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Buenas noches. Ah, qué bueno, bienvenidos. Ñami, déjenme aquí una pesa ya.
So I just want to play it again, Sarah, and then let's read it at the same time so we understand everything that they have been saying.
It is basically a quest to understand, where we all came from. That's one of those key human questions that everybody is kind of searching for the answer to. And, who am I? Who are my ancestors? And we're using the tools of science to get the answers to that.
Oh, I like that. That's great.
Because when I was born, my mother told me I had like some blonde hair on my back. I don't know where it came from. It's not there now.
Did you get that? He was saying that this guy was saying, when I born.
Because when I was born, my mother told me I had like some blonde hair on my back. I don't know where it came from.
When he born, he got some blonde hair on his body. And he's like, I don't even know from where. So do you see, it doesn't matter which color do you have outside. All of us, we have all kind of genes that can determine. I'm sure he said, maybe one of my grandmothers, maybe it was blonde. So that's a possibility. So he said, I don't know where that came from where he's having that blonde hair.
It's not there now.
Now, hundreds of New Yorkers are lining up to get these questions answered too, and learn about their own ancient pasts.
It's who I am. The more I know about my past, the more I can understand myself.
Well, I think we were looking for something unexpected, because we sort of know where we're from, but, we don't really know where we're from.
He's very excited about it, and he thinks that he's gonna change his life.
Genealogy allows most of us to trace our ancestors back about 4 or 5 generations to a great-great-grandparent.
This kind of testing allow
about 4 or 5 generations.
4 or 5 generations, that will be your great-great-great-great-grandmother or great-grandparents. They can determine maybe they were from London, from England, from Spain. So even though all the family that you know have been living in New York.
To a great-great-grandparent, perhaps.
And probably we can go as far as probably 100 years.
This is your deep ancestry. So we're not necessarily looking at your grandparents.
If we're lucky, we know where these ancestors lived.
Well, I certainly don't know much about my background.
I know that, I'm from Madras, the southern part of India. My parents lived there and my grandparents lived there. So beyond them, I have no clue at all.
My mom's from South Korea. And on my father's side, I am German, Irish, English, and I think a little bit of Native American, but that part I'm not sure.
So what do you know about your ancestry?
New York, that's about it.
These DNA tests tell a deeper story. Rather than taking us back just a handful of generations, they take us back many thousands.
I'm waiting for her now. She can't talk now, so I can abuse her.
The cheek swab is basically a way of getting at the DNA history book that we're carrying inside of ourselves. All of that information has to be copied in every generation to pass on to kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. So we're carrying this continuous kind of genetic historic document that goes back through the generations since, tens, hundreds, thousands of years ago.
No matter where we're from, how different we appear, If we look back through the generations at the roots of the human family tree, we find we are all related. Our ancient connections may not be obvious to this group. Our ancestors adapted to different climates, and as a result, humans are now among the most physically varied-looking species on the planet. But looks can be deceiving.
We're basically identical at the genetic level. I mean, if you look at the average person's DNA sequence and compare the same region to another person they're unrelated to, they're 99.9% identical.
And you know what I like about the conclusion? That all of us, we are related, right? These are vocabulary words that we use in the selection, like ancestor, DNA, genealogy. We have roots. Root is the family. When you say, from where are your roots? You say, well, my roots are from where my grandparents and my family is coming from. In my case, my family is from Puerto Rico. So my kids are going to say, my mother's roots were from Puerto Rico, even though they born in the United States. Identical is that exactly the same. Related, that belong to the same family. Ancestor is someone is in the person family. When we talk about ancestor, we are not talking just about grandparents. We are talking about the great-great-grandparents, few generations before that. Genealogy is the study of someone's family. And the DNA is a material in the body that carries information about how someone's look. So Sarah, you and me, let's answer this. You answer one and I answer the next one. Sounds good? Let's read it together. My sister and I are almost blank.
Exactly same. We both have brown hair, blue eyes, and the same
height.
The same height.
The same height. Which one is that one? Is identical, ancestor, or DNA?
It's A. Identical.
Identical. And this is another way that we are practicing vocabulary words, right? Alfredo is blank to Hector. They are cousins and share 2 grandparents.
So, related?
Related, exactly. Related, relación, tiene relación. Alfredo is related to Hector. This person in the photos are blank. She is my grandfather's grandmother.
Ancestor.
Ancestor, exactly. Do you remember we mentioned ancestor is that someone from the past? It's not just your grandfather, is the grandfather or the grandmother, is someone that goes few generations behind. That's why we are talking about ancestor. This is another way that we are practicing vocabulary word. Don't forget that. What we are trying to develop during these classes is that we are just trying to learn 1 or 2 words that you learn. They are 1 or 2 words that you didn't know, so that we are learning. That's the whole idea between all these activities, is to learn vocabulary word that we can use. Eventually, at least you can say, well, I know that word. Let's see, what do you remember about the video? Thing that you saw that you remember while watching the video. Do you remember seeing any man waiting at the gas station? I don't think so. But what about people waiting in a line?
Oh, yes.
Yes, exactly, right? Do you remember any people paying money?
No.
No, I don't think so, right? No one was paying money. Someone reading a map? I don't think anyone was reading a map. But what about people getting cheek swabs? Do you know what is that, Sarah?
No,
They are scrubbing inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were getting cheek swabs. So that swabs is la cosita con algodón que ellos estaban pasando dentro de la mejilla, por dentro, cheek. Al principio de la lección, we talk about body parts.
Yeah.
So when we are listening to videos too, we have to be sure that we are paying attention to what we are seeing. Oh, this is challenging. These are activities to see if you can remember what all of them said. Let's see if we remember something here. The more I know about my past, the more I can understand myself.
The D.
Which one do you think say that?
The D.
D?
D.
The guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are just right. I remember, I think this one. We know where we're from, but we don't really know where we're from. Ah.
Sí.
Sí.
These two guys, right?
Yeah.
I get confused.
And this is, I remember we listened to that one. Can anyone read it for me? If you can read it. If not, I do it.
My mom's from South Korea, and on my father's side, I am German, Irish, English, and I think a little bit of Native American.
Native American.
That's a B.
Do you remember the girl she was saying that? Yeah.
Yes.
And number 4.
I am from Madras, the southern part of India. My parents live there and grandparents live there. A.
And that was A, I remember her.
Yeah.
So you see, when you are watching a video, you guys can listen and understand what they are talking. Fanny, are you going to your dinner?
Yes, but I'm here as a doorman because no one is there to open the door to my other friends. So can I be here until 8:30? That's okay for you? Or maybe 8:15?
That's fine. I think that, yeah, I will be here until 8:30.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's read. I know that the discussion was about this at the end after they interview the people. Choose if you agree or disagree. Be prepared to discuss. So let's talk a little about this. No two humans look the same. Do you agree or disagree on that?
Not the humans look the same. Agree.
Agree. No.
And I agree, everyone is different, absolutely.
Yes.
Most people want to learn about their
Hola.
ancestors. Most people wanted to learn about their ancestors. And this is mostly personal opinion. What do you think, Sarah?
When it says most people want to learn about their ancestor is that's
What do you think?
I think it's agree or disagree.
Do you believe that most people, in your case, you wanted to know about your past generation, from where they're coming?
Yes.
What about Edita? What do you think about? Do you want to know about your ancestor?
This is the number 2. Most people want to learn about their ancestor.
Ancestor. Do you remember what is ancestor?
Yes, es en no sé en español, no sé cómo decirlo en inglés.
Okay, go ahead.
Los ancestros son como las de nosotros venimos desde los.
Sí, sí, seguro. Lo importante es que lo entienda. Son las generaciones anteriores, ¿no?
Ajá.
Ajá.
Casi no escuché mucho el video, pero sí escuché como lo que.
Yeah, this is mostly about your personal opinion.
Esa palabra agree que no sé qué quiere decir en español.
Para eso es que yo estoy, si tú no entiendes, tú me dices. Agree si estás de acuerdo, disagree si no estás de acuerdo. Estoy de acuerdo, no estoy de acuerdo con el statement.
Ok. Entonces dice, muchas personas quieren aprender sobre sus ancestros. Agree, entonces.
Do you agree? Many people can learn about it. The more you know about your past, the more you can understand yourself. Do you agree with that statement?
Just mismo. Yes. The more you know about your past, the more you can understand yourself. Yes, and agree, ¿verdad?
You agree? ¿Estás de acuerdo?
Yeah. Sí.
What do you think, Sarah?
Natalie, Richard, no hable mucho.
The more that you agree the more that you know about your past, the more you can understand yourself. Mientras más sabemos de nuestro pasado,
más podemos entender.
Más podemos entenderlo. A lo mejor podemos entender el por qué. ¿Por qué somos de la manera que somos? Si sabemos de dónde venimos, es importante. Yo pienso que aunque no solamente nos podamos entender nosotros, pero cuando tú tienes un conocimiento de dónde vienes, eso te da como un sentido de profundidad. Yo sé que mis abuelos eran de España, porque me lo dijo mi mamá. Y la familia de todos ellos era de España. Y esa fue del lado de mi mamá. Del lado de mi papá, por eso es que yo soy tan blanca, del lado de mi papá eran también de España y eran de Galicia, porque mi abuelo me decía gallega. Mi abuelo nunca me llamó por mi nombre. Yo no creo que él supiera mi nombre. Yo que pienso, él siempre me decía gallega. Ven acá, gallega, es la gallega, porque él decía que yo me parecía a la familia de él, de Galicia, de España.
De España. Pero aquí en Estados Unidos, usted puede, por ejemplo, mis cuñadas a veces han querido, se han hecho exámenes para ver qué tipo de sangre tiene de los ancestros ellas.
Sí.
Y aquí dice que hay un lugar que creo que ellos pagaron para saber qué tipo de sangre tenían de muchos de sus ancestros. Pero Pero mi esposo dice, yo no quiero saber de él, dice que no quiere saber de dónde viene. Pero sus
Exacto,
hermanas,
depende. Este es el mismo examen, se hace a
ah,
través de la sangre, pero son carísimos, esos exámenes son
sí,
$200.
ajá, sí, esto dicen ella que es muy caro.
¿Y
Pero que le
descubrieron de
dicen,
dónde son?
pues ella le había dicho que, pero como, por ejemplo, si ellas son hermanas de mi esposo, ¿pueden ser diferentes tipos de sangre?
Bueno, no es que ellos usan la sangre, ellos lo que sacan de la sangre es el DNA, el DNA. Ellos lo que sacan son esos cromosomas característicos de otros lugares. El tipo de sangre sí es diferente, todo el mundo tiene.
Ella parece que dijo que había salido que ellas habían salido de allá no recuerdo muy bien, pero ella parece que dijo que de allá del lado de Francia, algo así. Mi esposo dice, yo no quiero saber nada.
Su esposo tiene que tener de la misma, si son de padre y madre, tienen que ser del mismo lugar.
No, ellos son de misma mamá, pero son de diferente padre.
Pues puede ser que entonces él tenga una mezcla.
Diferente.
Yo pienso que mientras más, the more you know about your past, yo no creo que a mí me gustaría hacerme un examen, no sé. Yo pienso que lo sé hasta ahora me es suficiente.
Sí.
Tú no necesitas
bueno, nosotros no. Pero supuestamente nosotros, por ejemplo, como latinos, no venimos siendo de la misma lado de España, porque como fuimos colonizados por Colón y traemos sangre de allá, creo, de ese lado de por ahí.
Yo pienso que sí, pero acuérdate también que los españoles entonces se mezclaron. Y esos españoles pueden haberse casado con alguien de Inglaterra. O sea que aunque mi abuelo diga que yo soy de Galicia, porque sus papás eran de Galicia, pero ¿y qué si mis bisabuelos eran de Francia? Y eso es lo que estos exámenes.
Porque se mezclaron con los nativos, también con los esclavos africanos, Inglaterra, venían muchas mezclas. ¿Sabe de dónde saldremos nosotros, Basarita?
¿De dónde es usted, Dita?
Yo soy
¿De qué país?
De Honduras.
¿Y Sara, de dónde es usted?
De México.
Pues, todos nosotros tenemos más o menos la misma sangre.
No, es que yo me está causando risa porque ayer precisamente tenía una clase de esto mismo. Digo, la hermana está diciendo, hermanadita está diciendo que está buscando a la familia de su esposo buscando, pero digo, la historia nos dice de las mezclas que todos tenemos y el hermano nos decía, somos mestizos porque tenemos de todo un poco, de negro, de africano,
de los africanos, de la Inglaterra.
Español, indios, el tipo de música que nos gusta, eso nos delata quiénes somos y vamos a la iglesia con eso, que la música también nos trae una todas estamos viendo y me causa risa porque digo, bueno, la historia igual ha marcado de dónde venimos, con quiénes somos y hacia dónde vamos.
Exactamente. Y eso nos da paso al próximo. All humans are related.
Todas las personas son relevantes o
relacionados.
Relacionados. Okay.
Todos los humanos, all humans, eso nos dice mismo que Sara está diciendo, que todos los seres humanos estamos relacionados. En mi país decimos, ¿y tu abuela dónde está? Y a mí me gusta mucho esa frase porque lo que te dice es, este es mi color de afuera, esto es lo que tú ves, pero tú no sabes de qué color era mi abuela. Mi abuela podía ser afroamericana y eso no determina, el que tú me veas este color no determina quién yo soy. Determina, yo soy una mezcla de todos los colores. Si tú te das cuenta, en mi casa, yo tengo una hermana de un color mucho más trigueño. José es un poquito más trigueño. Mis hermanos son más trigueños. Y somos hermanos de padre y madre. Los humanos, all humans, we are related. We are related and that's the way God wanted. So even though, that's why I say I don't really want to know beyond Spain, because I know that all of us, we are related. And that's the way we should see it. So like Sarah was saying that we know where we're going, right? So that's activities in the documents I already posted. Feel free to print those papers and look into that.
Me today no printing las páginas. No printing today.
Okay.
Porque me está saliendo, la verdad me está saliendo más caro printeando las hojas.
Yeah, I just did that exactly. You see, I show them. Yo los enseño. You have it too. That's a beautiful book.
Just I have today. Just I'm come to from work.
¿Cuánto le costó el libro, Sarita?
20 y tantos.
Ah, pero mejor me sale creo que lo voy a comprar porque $1 me cuesta. $1 me está costando por cada hoja de imprimir y la verdad que
tiene más de 25 hojas, así es que
Además es un libro bien hermoso, es un libro que tiene mucha información.
¿Lo puede poner, Sarita, para verlo, para comprarlo? A ver, ¿por dónde lo compró?
En Amazon.
En Amazon, yo le tengo la conexión allí.
Así como está ahí, sound, stand out, number 3, y el musulmán ese que está ahí en la foto.
Ese es un latino.
Parece a mi esposo con esa barba. Parece un musulmán.
Pero son 2 libros, acuérdate, mira.
Oh,
porque
ya ves.
viene el paquete, si tienen los dos. Los libros yo los he usado con mis grupos de estudiantes.
Ajá.
Yo
me voy a meter.
No porque me paguen por promocionarlo, sino como maestra. Yo pienso que es un libro hermoso, es un libro que tiene muchísima información útil. Aun cuando la clase se acabe, sácate unos días y revisa el libro. Yo no he tocado mucha gramática porque la prioridad del curso no es gramática. Si este programa fuera un poco más largo, yo tal vez hubiera pasado mucho más tiempo en gramática.
Pero lo busco, por ejemplo, en mis cursos, por ejemplo, estoy en la página ahorita de la tienda, de Unilimi.
Sí, está en mi curso y está en información.
Ahí está la información de los libros.
En la información. Oh, ok, aquí dice, están 2 libros, ¿verdad?
Sí, está el workbook y está el libro de donde yo hice las copias.
Workbook, el workbook 3 y el otro,
Es un libro que tiene muchas actividades y si ya tú tienes la idea de qué se trata, tú puedes regresar y revisarlo. Y te va a ayudar en inglés. Tiene muchos diálogos que usualmente esto se hace en clase, por eso yo no los he tocado mucho.
Teacher, pero yo le quería preguntar, por ejemplo, usted ahorita está grabando esta clase. Cuando termina la clase, ¿dónde uno puede ver la clase grabada para repasar?
Yo las estoy poniendo y no las he terminado todas, pero voy a ver si mañana pongo el resto. Donde dice lesson, donde está lesson, tú vas a ver...
En la lección.
La lección, dice lección. Vas a ver el tema, vas a ver todos los trabajos que yo los pongo para que ustedes lo impriman si quieren y vas a ver la clase. Vas a ver el video.
Pero entonces, porque yo entro, donde dice lección, no, porque, por ejemplo, hay uno que dice están básicos, están entonces, donde dice unidad 1, básico communication.
Basic communication.
Communication. Entonces, allí, por ejemplo, están nada más las hojas, que por ejemplo, esas yo las tengo impresas. Pero, por ejemplo, ahorita como la estamos al escuchar, ¿qué es lo que graba entonces? Porque ahorita, por ejemplo, en el video está grabación.
Bueno, acuérdate que yo no creo que en la primera lo grabamos, o sea, no vas a encontrar nada. Pero en la próxima lección lo más probable es que lo encuentres.
Oh, pero sí se encuentra entonces donde dice en la lección.
Al mismo donde está la
Lección.
lección, al final, si está grabado, ahí debe estar grabado.
Oh, ok, lo voy a
Okay.
buscar entonces. Sí,
So these are activities that when you see the book, you cannot listen to my recording, but you can see here the dialogue. And these are things that you can practice. Like I said, the book is useful and you can practice all these activities. Even though the class is over, you can go back and review some of these activities. And one day that you are waiting in the bus or you are waiting on the train, take the book with you and sit down and practice. You see, these are activities that you have some dialogues, and learning a second language is about talking. All this conversation is important. So everything that is basic.
Como le salga, teacher, the conversation is good.
Exactly, that's what we are talking. Because the whole class should be about talking. But then even though you can sit down and practice. What's the matter? I'm coughing. So you can practice your spelling, you can practice your pronunciation, and you can practice your vocabulary words. So all these dialogues are important. So we already talked about the habits, and we went back. I was showing you the labels, nutrition values. And when we get here, you were saying that you didn't have the book. So these are components also of health, nutrition information, and how do we read, especially now that we are moving into all these holidays, how we can really look into these reading labels, nutrition labels, that sometimes we overlook. How many of you read this when you are buying stuff? Did you check on them?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Yes, doing good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I'm a little late tonight, but I want to ask you the question that you just did. I never read the nutrition facts on the food.
You never look at this, exactly. So today's topic is about nutrition and health, and what we are looking, Esperanza, are all these components that they can play a role in our health. And some of them are good habits, like we already reviewed, and some of them are even looking into the labels. This is something I have been used to. I'm getting used to read. And let me tell you what I'm always looking into. I'm looking into sodium. I don't look too much into here. Maybe I should, but I don't. Into calories when I'm buying things. But I'm paying a lot of attention into sodium. That's in my case. You know, each person is different. But especially when you are buying these processed food boxes and canned food, so the sodium intake is a bad idea. And as far as I know, when it's higher than 20%, it's not a good stuff. So every time you are looking into your label, so feel free to check into that, because that's something that you are going to be eating. You know, not just the calories, not just the fat, but just the cholesterol intake and the sodium intake. And sodium is a big component of high blood pressure, and you can develop all kind of conditions when your sodium is very high. Something else that sometimes we don't take in considerations are the servings. This one doesn't have a serving, but sometimes say here how many servings you can have. You can have 3 or 4, but then we sit down and we eat the whole packet, right? So we are eating more than one portion. But the sodium for me is really important. So I have a listening activity here, so for us to listen.
Part 1.
Darla,
Oh my God, I don't like how she's talking. So her name is Darla. And they're explaining nutrition information. Let's see if we can listen this part.
Part 1.
Darla, I need your help.
Sure. What can I do, Grandma?
Well, my doctor says I need to pay attention to nutrition, but I don't understand nutritional labels.
Oh, sure. I can help. Let's look at this box of macaroni and cheese. What's your first question?
Well, I have high blood pressure. I shouldn't have a lot of salt. I don't see salt on this label.
Oh, you need to look at sodium. The sodium amount tells you how much salt there is.
So there's 470 milligrams of sodium in this box?
No. The amount they give you is the amount in each serving.
How do I know how much a serving is?
They tell you on the label. See the serving size?
Okay. I see there are 2 servings in this box, one for me and one for Grandpa.
What's next?
I need to watch calories if I want to lose weight. How many calories should I have each day?
About 2,000. You can have more calories if you're active.
Part 2.
What should I eat if I want to have a healthy...
I like to listen to the activity and I like to see the same thing at the same time. And I didn't remember the recording, but it's exactly what I was telling you. It's about the sodium part. I actually look at the sodium when I'm buying things. And sometimes when I see that the sodium is over 20, I put it back. I really don't get it. So this is the script of what they are saying. I like when we listen first and when we can hear and read at the same time.
Part 1.
Darla, I need your help.
Sure. What can I do, Grandma?
Well, my doctor says I need to pay attention to nutrition, but I don't understand nutritional labels.
Oh, sure. I can help. Let's look at this box of macaroni and cheese. What's your first question?
Well, I have high blood pressure. I shouldn't have a lot of salt. I don't see salt on this label.
Oh, you need to look at sodium. The sodium amount tells you how much salt there is.
So there's 470 milligrams of sodium in this box?
No. The amount they give you is the amount in each serving.
How do I know how much a serving is?
They tell you on the label. See the serving size?
Okay. I see there are 2 servings in this box, one for me and one for Grandpa.
What's next?
I need to watch calories if I want to lose weight. How many calories should I have each day?
About 2,000. You can have more calories if you're active.
That was the conversation about the sodium.
Part 2.
What should I eat if I want to have a healthy heart?
You should avoid cholesterol and saturated fat.
Okay. Grandpa's diabetic. He needs to limit sugar.
Yes. Sugar is on the nutritional label.
Now, Grandpa and I both need something to help digestion.
You need a lot of fiber.
One last question. Why do older women need to have a lot of calcium?
Oh, that's because women need calcium to protect them against bone disease.
That's really helpful. Thanks, Darla.
That was Grandma and Darla, and Grandma was having some kind of concern. What was Grandma concerned?
She don't understand the nutrition label. She don't understand how that works.
And then Darla was willing to help her. And what was Grandma's problem? She had a condition.
Yes, she went to the doctor and the doctor told her that she has high blood pressure.
So she had to take care of what she had to control and look
The
into
sodium,
that. The sodium intake. And that was something that I mentioned before. I actually look into that. I'm always scared of too much salt. I don't use salt when I'm cooking. I don't have problem with the blood pressure. I just don't like salt. So when we listen to activities, we want to know what they are talking about. What we are trying to develop is the ability for us to listen and to answer questions. We are going to listen to this. I think this is another activity. We are going to, yes, we are going to answer this using the same conversation. And I was already answering that with Esperanza. So maybe we can just listen last time and then we answer the questions.
Part 1.
Darla, I need your help.
Sure. What can I do, Grandma?
Well, my doctor says I need to pay attention to nutrition, but I don't understand nutritional labels.
Oh, sure. I can help. Let's look at this box of macaroni and cheese. What's your first question?
Well, I have high blood pressure. I shouldn't have a lot of salt. I don't see salt on this label.
Oh, you need to look at sodium. The sodium amount tells you how much salt there is.
So there's 470 milligrams of sodium in this box?
No. The amount they give you is the amount in each serving.
How do I know how much a serving is?
They tell you on the label. See the serving size?
Okay. I see there are 2 servings in this box, one for me and one for Grandpa.
What's next?
I need to watch calories if I want to lose weight. How many calories should I have each day?
About 2,000. You can have more calories if you're active.
Part 2.
What should I eat if I want to have a healthy heart?
You should avoid cholesterol and saturated fat.
Okay. Grandpa's diabetic. He needs to limit sugar.
Yes. Sugar is on the nutritional label.
Now, Grandpa and I both need something to help digestion.
You need a lot of fiber.
One last question. Why do older women need to have a lot of calcium?
Oh, that's because women need calcium to protect them against bone disease.
That's really helpful. Thanks, Darla.
Oh, that grandma looks like she needs some vitamins too, right? The way she was talking. Let's see. Let's make it bigger. Let's read and let's make the selection. What does grandma need to look at if she wants to watch her salt intake?
She needs to look at sodium.
Sodium intake. Because it doesn't say salt, but it's sodium is salt. What about number 2? How many servings are in the box of macaroni and cheese?
2 servings, one for her and one for her husband.
Mm-hmm. Can you read the other one, please?
How many calories should an average adult have each day? 2,000.
2,000.
And more if you are active.
Yes, depending on your age too, and you are active. But this is mostly what people have.
Average.
What about Sarah? Can you read number 4 for us, Sarah?
No la escuchamos, hermana Sara.
Okay. What should grandma avoid to have a healthy heart? Let's say, I think Cholesterol unsaturated fat, no. El otro.
Yep.
Carbohidratos y
Carbohydrates, cholesterol, unsaturated fat, or carbohydrates?
the second one.
This one?
I think.
Well, these carbohydrates are carbohidratos son panes, arroz, que no es lo mejor, pero el colesterol es lo que uno debe evitar porque afecta al corazón.
Okay.
Colesterol es grasas. Colesterol es una clasificación de las
Es que
grasas.
la palabra avoid es la que no la alcanza.
Avoid. ¿Qué significa avoid?
Evitar.
Evitar, correcto, evitar.
Entonces sería el primero, colesterol y grasa saturada.
Correcto. What should a diabetic look for on a food label? A diabetic.
Sugar.
Sugar, absolutely. And a person with the high blood pressure should avoid salt. What nutrient help digestion?
Fiber.
¿Qué nutriente ayuda a la digestión?
Fiber.
Las fibras, right? And what kind of food can provide you with fibers?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Yeah, that's very good. I love oatmeal, but I cannot eat oatmeal. And broccoli, vegetables, salad, lettuce. But no one should be eating lettuce now, right? Okay. This is another label. And this is information that we saw before. So this is mostly the calories information and fat per day for a normal person. Of course, it can be, will just depend the condition of the person. But at least 2,000 calories per day, 10 or less grams of fat. But it's asking about the macaroni and cheese. Let me see what it is, that one. The problem is I cannot open both of them at the same time. Do they have enough fat in there? 18%. And the recommended dose is doesn't have enough. That's good. So I think that one of the things that we can take from this part of the lesson is sometimes we overlook because we think it's not important looking into the labels. That was something I never used to look before. But when I start to hear about the sodium intake, in my case, some people have to worry about the sugar intake. So when you have to look into the cholesterol, those are important components of the healthy living that sometimes, even though we are in a rush going through the supermarket, we should actually open the box or look behind the box and take a few seconds. It doesn't take that long, but at least we should look into those labels that they are really there to give us information. So when we look into those labels, we are looking into information that we are getting to have a healthy living. What I was telling the other members of the group is that I was planning maybe to finish a little early because you guys have some kind of activity. What I want you guys to do is to try to work in some of the activities and the assignments, because I was looking into yesterday, I was trying to download everything, but I don't have enough information. I saw Sarah sent me some. Esperanza have been catching up, and that's very good. Edita sent me some information, but I need documents to be able to justify a grade. And the documents are the assignment that you guys have to do. And trust me, I understand perfectly. We are adults, we are busy people, I understand that. So that's why I want to take a few minutes, maybe today you want to do it, or during the week. So start to provide me with some of the homework. You just try your best. What I'm looking into, I'm checking on that. If I see something made that I have to tell you, hey, this is a correction that is important, I will get back to you. On the other hand, this is information that we have been always reviewing. It's just a practice. Something else I'm planning to do for the next lesson. I'm going to create a little test. It's a test that you can do with the book open. All of you have the information. You will have the video, so there is nothing for you to worry about. But I will submit a test no more than 2 pages. And I want you to work on that and submit it back to me so we can have some grade, because we are approaching the end of the program and we want to be sure everyone have a beautiful grade so you can continue with your degree. Do you guys agree with that?
¿De qué eran las 2 páginas que necesita para...?
Lo que estoy pensando es que yo voy a crear un examen que ustedes tienen la documentación porque vas a tener los videos, tienes la papelería, tienes las lecciones que ya hemos dado, es simplemente de lo mismo que hemos hablado, no hay nada diferente, nada nuevo. Y lo voy a someter, lo más probable es que sea este fin de semana. Sería no más de 2 páginas, un examen de las mismas actividades que hemos estado haciendo, simplemente como un repaso de lo que hemos estado haciendo. Ahora, yo necesito que ustedes trabajen en eso y lo sometan para yo poder entonces darle una nota final, porque esto es un curso que requiere una nota.
Yo voy a llenar esta, chequeándola, porque me estaba bloqueando que no puedo printear. Y ya ahorita tengo los libros, solo voy a llenar ahí, ponerle la foto y mandársela a usted.
Sí, yo he recibido información de la manera, yo se lo dije, de la manera que les resulte fácil. Alguien me mandó la foto, alguien, Esperanza me está mandando emails, yo estoy muy pendiente a todo lo que se me envía. Yo ya lo imprimí, ya lo he chequeado, pero de la manera, René me envió algo a través de Populi, de la manera que ustedes lo hagan, yo lo voy a chequear, y si no lo recibo, pero necesitamos empezar a producir, y yo entiendo que estamos ocupados, por eso no quiero esperar a que se acabe la clase, porque yo tengo cierto tiempo para someter una nota, y ustedes han sido fieles en su trabajo, y eso merita reconocimiento. Yo lo que voy a crear es algún examen de material que ya se ha trabajado, no es nada nuevo, simplemente es una práctica de estos tópicos que el Departamento de Educación entiende que personas que están aprendiendo un segundo idioma deben dominar. Eso es todo lo que este curso evalúa. Lo voy a someter, es muy sencillo, entonces ustedes me lo devuelven, ya sea por email, ya sea por Populi, ya sea por picture. It doesn't matter how you do it, I would get it. Okay? What I want is to start to work on some of the assignments. No son los trabajos que hacemos en la clase, son solamente las assignments que yo tengo donde dice assignment, que es 1 o 2 páginas, no es nada más de ahí. ¿Ok? Porque creo que fue Edita que me envió muchos papeles, pero eso es todo el trabajo de la clase, no te preocupes por eso. Todas estas páginas que yo estoy poniendo, esto es para repaso. Cuando ustedes baja la página Populi, baja lección, donde dice assignment, esas son las páginas que yo quiero ver como assignment. A este momento no son más de 5 páginas, no más de ahí, no creo.
Okay.
Y entonces lo que yo le he mandado no son entonces las correctas.
No, pero estuvo bien porque yo lo revisé y por eso yo te voy a dar valor.
Ajá, porque yo estaba como haciendo las hojas como lo que hemos visto en la clase, practicando, llenando lo que
Bueno, yo pienso
ahí.
que eso es por eso es que lo hacemos. Esta es la idea de todo este curso. El problema del curso es que ustedes tienen una serie de actividades extra adicionales, o sea, pero esto es un curso que sí que estas hojas hay que llenarla y crearla. Y eso estuvo bien porque yo la chequeé. Está muy bien. Pero entonces, solamente I want you to look into the assignments. And in the same assignment for today, we have 2 workbook pages. There are only 2 pages. And what I'm going to do for next week, I will create a test. It's like a review of the previous lessons. It will have a little activity of almost everything. And so we can then conclude, you know, like with the test. Don't you just, like Sarah was saying, you just work on that and print it or take a picture and send it back to me.
Okay.
This is it. And if you have any question, as always, text me or send me a message. I get all your messages.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't reply, but I see, you know, when you are sending me information, I see it, okay? Any questions about? Okay, let me review with this last activity, and after that, I really want you guys to have some time to work on those pages and start to submit some of them before getting ready for the turkey thing.
What are you doing?
I'm exercising. Can't you see?
Okay, I know what you're doing, but why?
Exercise is good for you. You should make it part of your daily routine, Hector.
Yes, I know, but at work?
Why not? If you exercise or stretch out at work, your muscles won't be tight.
If I exercise at work, my clothes will get messed up.
Don't worry about your clothes. Come on, try it.
How do I do it?
Start by touching your toes. Then, touch your knees. Finish by putting your hands on your hips.
Like this.
Right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
What's going on here?
We're exercising, Mr. Patel. Why don't you join us?
I can't do that. I haven't touched my toes in years.
It's good for you. Come on, try it.
Well, all right, but not too fast.
Don't worry. Let's take it easy. Start by touching your toes. Then, touch your knees. Finish by putting your hands on your hips. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Mateo. 3. That's enough for me.
That's a good start. If you work out every day, it'll get easier for you.
Every day?
Being healthy is a way of life, Mr. Patel.
Well, if you say so, Mateo. Okay. All this exercise is making me hungry. I feel like having something to eat. Yes, and I'm thirsty.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Would you like to have some soda too?
We just lost 100 calories, and you're gaining it all back. Hector, that candy bar has at least 200 calories. And Mr. Patel, that can of soda has about 150 calories. A lot of those calories come from sugar. If you eat or drink too much sugar every day, you can have some serious health problems.
The soda doesn't look so good now.
After a workout, you should drink water or juice. It has lots of vitamins and minerals, and it makes you feel great.
Okay, Mateo, you sold me. I think I'll have a juice too. Now I know why he is such a good sales clerk.
Well, he was trying to do exercise, and I was like, okay, that's me.
Me too.
Right?
Something sweet.
I was like, that's me.
Mm.
So it's about healthy living. Don't forget that we are talking about the importance of. Oh no, I don't think that we would be able to do the dialogue, right? Let's see. Let's read. We already saw the video, and then Mr. Patel is the boss with the dress up. So he was asking, what's going on here? So what do you think that Mateo replied to him? We're
They say, we are doing exercise. Mr. Patel, why don't you join us?
I can't do
Why he can't reply? Go ahead, Sarah.
I can't do that. I haven't touched my feet.
I haven't touched my what?
My toes and yours.
Excellent. My toes in here, right? Same here.
I can. Yeah, I can.
It's what Mateo replied. It's
good for you.
It's good for you, absolutely. It's good for you. So he said, come on, try it.
Come on, try it.
That's another, this is an informal way to talk. Come on, try it. So Mr. Patel replied, well, all right, but not too fast. What Mateo is replying to him?
Don't worry, let's take it easy. Start by touching your toe. Then touch your knee. Finish by touching your hands and your hips.
Excellent. Very good. So you see, you don't, something I want to stress over and over. And you guys are doing fantastic. This doesn't apply to you, but maybe when you talk to someone. When you are listening, you don't have to understand every single word. You don't have to know everything. But at least you can have the whole idea what they are talking about or basic information. Because even watching a video, if you don't understand all the words, you can see what's going on. Let's match the sentences and then we move on.
Okay.
So Mateo, how we complete that sentence? Mateo, take a few minutes to read it and let's find the answer in there.
Has a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. Mateo has a healthy lifestyle. Exercise.
Exercises will prevent your muscles from getting tight.
Exercise will prevent your muscles from getting tight. Perfect. Too much sugar.
Can create some serious health problems.
Soda and candy
Are bad for you because they have a lot of calories.
Water. Go ahead.
Water or juice are great things to drink after a workout.
Mr. Patel, the boss,
is not in good shape.
Excellent. I just want to thank you guys. We are finishing a little early today. You guys are engaged in other activities. I just want to ask you if you have any question about the activities. If you have any question about the assignment, don't forget we need the assignments done. We need to have some documents already in place. I have two, if you look into the lesson for today, and if you look into the assignments, under you will see assignment for this lesson. So those are the same activity we have been doing. There is nothing new in here. It's just a review and practice. What we are going to do, most probably I'm going to be posting that with the next lesson in the next 2 days, maybe by tomorrow or before Friday, is next lesson with a test, simple test about everything we have been talking about, basic communication, communities, health, everything we have been trying, we have been reviewing something simple, and I want you guys to work on that and submit it again so we can have some grades. Questions about Sarah or anyone else listening?
I wanted chatting to finish my homework.
Exactly. I think today is a good day for you guys to finish your homework. Take some time. If you have any questions at all, don't forget, you just text me or email me, anything you want to do it. So I'm already always checking my information. I will be posting those grades, and I will be posting the other activities, so we don't wait until the last minute, because we have to submit some grades, and if I don't have documentation to do it, then it will be challenging, okay? So I will be posting.
Okay, teach.
Okay? Sounds
Yes.
good. Be sure that you use the rest of the time to finish the activities, and any question, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Más importante que nada, que no se nos olvide que Dios es bueno, que nos ha bendecido, que todo lo que tenemos se lo debemos a Él, y que la gente se envuelve tanto en this just a tradition, but as Christians, we know that it's much more than just a turkey. It's a grateful life, and a life saying thank you all the time, right?
Yes, teacher. Thank you,
Thank you,
for the
ladies.
class. Thank you for being patient with us, and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
Thank you, and enjoy. See you next Tuesday. Don't forget that, okay?
Yes, see you.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, absolutely.
I see you then.
Bye.
Bye.